Welcome to South Dakota HOSA's The Pulse. Today we sit down with Dr. Addo, a cardiologist in Sioux City, Iowa.
My name is Dr. Frank Addo. I grew up in Ghana in West Africa. Decided to go to medical school basically very early. I chose to do this sometime when I was in high school. I work as a cardiologist, and cardiologist basically is an internal medicine doctor who takes care of patients with cardiac diseases. The best part of my job, I must say, is just meeting people every day and talking to them. It can be pretty fascinating, the different kinds of people you meet and what they tell you. So I tend to learn a lot from my patients, and I've found it very, very fulfilling. Going to medical school can be difficult. When I was in high school and made that decision to go to medical school, initially I had some doubts if I'll be able to do it, just because of the competition, which is true, around the world when it comes to gaining admission into medical school. So it involved a lot of hard work, and sometimes I was not sure if I'll be able to get in. But I think I got lucky after working hard and managed to get in. Certainly, even in medical school, from time to time, I did doubt myself. I did not pass every single exam. I failed some and had to redo it. But I still kept going forward, and I was able to graduate as a doctor. So a typical day for me is I start clinic or go to the hospital and see inpatients around 8 o'clock, and it goes to about 5 o'clock or so, at times 6 o'clock, occasionally 7 o'clock. And that depends on how many patients you saw and how sick they were. But you don't recognize or realize how much time is passing by because it's essentially a fun day. So it tends to go by very quickly, and typically there doesn't seem to be enough time in a day. So yes, being a cardiologist can be very busy, but can be very rewarding emotionally as well. I tell students that I meet from time to time, people ask me how I became a cardiologist, or my decision to go to, or my decision to specialize as a cardiologist. Now, I tell people going to med school is it's obviously a personal decision. There's this notion that you have to be extra smart to become a doctor. I do not think that is true. I think anybody of average academic performance should be able to do it. But there's one thing you would certainly do that cannot be avoided, is studying hard. The material tends to be a lot, and you would have to find a way to sit down to study the material. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm not straight A's, I would not be able to do this, that's actually not true. You would be able to do it. The bigger decision you would have to make is if you are ready to commit yourself to doing it, because there'll be a lot to read and a lot to study. If you want to be a cardiologist, I say go for it. When it comes to subspecialization, most people end up doing what they are interested in, and I think that should be the driving decision, because you are going to live with this for a very, very long time. So if you decide to go into any subspecialty, you certainly need to have a decent amount of interest in that particular subspecialty. And for me, the decision to go to become a cardiologist was not because that was my best subject. I think throughout med school, it was a subject that basically fascinated me the most. It was very detailed, somewhat difficult to understand, at least for me, and required a lot of pondering and sitting down to understand the concepts. And I think that was the main driving force. So if you want to be a cardiologist, go for it.